ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I am Ariv, and just wanted to post a quick video today on a few things. The first thing I wanted to talk about was this event that's coming up. So if we go into news, there's an awakening boost here for soul shards. So 2x for 5-star and 6-star souls. Normally this is like the best time to pull your souls, especially if you're sort of like a earlier game account. You don't have necessarily the teams to farm up and buy souls through the market. This is how I've gotten quite a few of my bigger souls for my champions. So normally this is a really good event. I am going to be avoiding this event though. And the reason is if we look at the Plarium calendar, I don't see any other events happening here. Any other, like, you're not getting anything else for summoning these souls. And so, in the interest of sort of like maximizing your resources, I feel like this is probably a like a an avoid for this event. If you're swimming in souls and you have tons of summons that you can do, then I suppose that's probably fine. If you're a spender, you can just buy more. This is probably a pretty good time. If you're more on the free to play side, which is kind of where I sort of shade with playing this game, I think this is an avoid. Now they could drop something here in the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and a lot of times they'll only give us like a 1 day warning or so. So I would just, if you are thinking you're going to pull your souls, just maybe hold off until we get a little bit more information and don't pull them all right away on Monday. Because they could drop something here, like I don't think they would do a deck of fate. A deck is too soon. I don't think they would do a Titan event. They already did the Esme Soul or Esme Soul. I think that was a Titan event. No, it wasn't a Titan event. It was I can't remember what it was called. But it just, this seems odd. This seems sort of out of nowhere. It seems like it might be bait to get you to spend your stuff for something else that's going to happen next week that is related to summoning souls. So I don't know. Just I'm not telling you what to do. You can pull them if you want, but I would just be careful. They could drop something here, and then you might be kicking yourself because you could have doubled up on some rewards that you didn't know about. Because Plarium loves doing that. They love not telling you what's coming up, and then they'll offset it by 1 day, and you spent all your souls, and now you don't get. I mean, you get the souls for it, but you don't get anything else. So, yeah, just kind of a heads up. Just kind of keep an eye on that. So, the other thing I wanted to talk about today, something that really helped change how I rank up champions. There's been a ton of videos about this, so this is more of like a kind of just something where I've had personal experience with it, and it really has overhauled how I view ranking of champions. And it's the Guardian Ring. So the Guardian Ring, this does require a little bit of setup. You have to unlock all 5 slots. And there is a little bit of setup that you have to do prior to putting champions in here. But this is for someone who's like early mid game like me. My account's not even 2 years. I haven't even been playing for 2 years. And I think last time I counted, I had like 63 or 64 level 60 champions. This is just like, it feels like a cheat code, but there is a little bit of a caveat to it. So what does it take to make this work for you? So, and then what are you going to get out of it? So I want to talk about those things today. So what you're going to get out of it is 5 4-star level 40 champions. So, obviously that's not going to get you from a 5-star to a 6-star. So there is a little bit of required setup, like I said, but we'll go over that next. So what you're going to get out of this is 5 level 40 4-star champions. What you can end up doing is this last part from level 30 to 40 is really energy intensive. And it can feel overwhelming. You can dedicate a lot of energy to it just to get that up. And early in the game, you will be doing that for your first sort of like 10 or 15 6-star champions. You'll just be farming, until you have all the champions necessary to rank them up. Once you kind of get into the point where you can sort of automate the process, this is what I like to do. So Here's what you have to do. So first, I think it does require the gem mine being 3 of 3. This is something I would encourage everyone to do. This is just a good source of gems. It's hard to track because I'm kind of always like clicking on it. I have this thing where, like, if I see gems there, I'm just gonna click on them, even if it's one. So I know that's really weird, but like basically once a day you're getting 15 gems. Um, this is going to require gems as well, so you do have to have a little bit of a gem investment if you were to spend money on gems. This is the place where I would put them in. To be quite honest with you, is just unlocking all 5 slots. So it's really really simple as like a step by step process. All you got to do is take. So these are all rare champions. I leveled them up to 30. I sacrificed some uncommon champions that I had put to rank 3 to make them all 4 stars. After that, you just need to put like 5 brews in them. I don't know why I went there. So if we go into rank 4s, so I've got a healthy amount of rank 4s here. If you put 5 brews in, that takes them to level 23. At this point, when you put them in the training hall guardian ring, it will take about a week for them to go from level 23 to level 40. Early on, it's going to take 4 or 5 hours to get them a level. And then, as you can see here, I think this was 14 hours when I leveled them all up. So by the end of the process, you're only upgrading them like once a day. But if you're diligent with it, you can do it in like 6 days. If you're not, it's usually like 7-ish days. Once you go through the 7 days, you get these guys all up to level 40 out of 40. They're ready to be made into rank 5s. During that time, you can be creating rank 4s with all of your kind of food champions that are rank 3. So the only real farming that you have to do in campaign is to make 4 stars. After that, you throw a handful of brews in, you put them in the guardian ring, they level up. Once they level up, you can just pump these 4 stars into them, make them a 5 star, and then rank up your champion. If it's a legendary, that's it. That's all you got to do. If it's like an epic, then you'll have to do a little bit of extra work to get them to a 5 star and then go up to a 6. But this is really how over the last probably 6 months I've been playing. I've been able to rank up so many champions so quickly. And I sort of ran into an issue with gear because I had too many champions that needed to be geared, and I just did not have the gear to support them all. So this is something that I'm always running. I always try and have champions in here that are ranking up leveling up so that I can then rank up other champions. The big thing here is so like total investment. So let's look at this from a total investment perspective. So assuming you have a legendary you want to rank up, it's already level 50, which you can do while you're farming up the other leveling up your other food champs. It's going to take a total of 25 rank 4s. You throw 5 in the guardian ring after putting some brews in it. After a week, they are all level 40. And because they're level 40 rank 4, they take 4 other rank 4s to rank up to rank 5. So basically, in essence, it's taking 5 rank 4 champions per rank 5 champion that you create. So in the meantime, if there's the monthly quest for campaign farming. That's a great place to rank up a bunch of 3s into 4s and then just stash them for whenever these guys are ready to be ranked up. The other option here is that during champion training tournaments, like I think there is a champion training. Yeah, there's this event going on. I'm not doing it. But like, so for instance, while you're doing this, all of your rank 4s that you just made through campaign farming that you are then going to put into the guardian ring champions, you throw 5 or 6 brews in them and then you rank up to rank 5. You throw 5 or 6 or 7 brews into that rank 5, into those rank 5s, and then you use them to rank up into a rank 6. That'll get you a ton of points in champion training. And this is something that I do every time for champion training. It's a really, really easy way to complete champion training events and not deplete all your brews. So I've been saving brews for a couple weeks now, and this is what I've been able to stash. And this is after 2 champion training events for Esme. So, I mean, these numbers could easily be 100 to 150 brews higher for each. So, it is, if you manage the resources right, you can still accrue brews for training events. You can still have leftover energy to do whatever else you need to do. And if you only want to go one at a time, you can go one at a time. I generally will try and take all of my rank threes and make them rank fours because they're kind of just not useful as rank threes, to be very honest. And you get so many 3-star chickens from where are they? Yeah, I have 11 right now, just from events from CVC. There's a CVC coming up. Great time to do this sort of shuffle, champion shuffle in the Guardian Ring, because you get a ton of CVC points. So like rank taking a rank 3 to a rank 4 is almost nothing. It only costs 11 brews to do that if you don't feel like farming it up in campaign. But if you do farm it up in campaign, it's even faster now that they have the what is it, like the double, I can't remember the actual word, the super raid within campaign now. So before you'd be sitting there just forever, just running campaign. Now it's like they cut it in half, which I think is great. So this 6-star champions are doing it this way instead of however else you're doing it before, which the most common way for early game accounts is probably just campaign farming. It does force you to be a little bit patient because that is going to take a week. But if you let's think about this in the long term. So one 6-star champ a week means 4 per month, which means 4 times 12 per year. I'm a dumbass. So what is that, 48? So in a year, you could have 48 rank 6 champions. That completely changes the complexion of your account. It opens up everything to you, depending on what champions they are. So, and then on top of that, you're also occasionally getting 5-star chickens, which I don't have any right now. But that's another avenue for getting 6-star champions. I never use 5-star chickens until I have 5 of them, because for a champion training and I save them for training events. So what I can do is use my food champions that I've been kind of growing in the Guardian Ring. That sounded weird, growing. And then I also use my 5-star chickens, so I can essentially get 2 for not really the price of 1, but I can get 2 in that instance, and I can maximize or make a training event much easier to complete by doing that. So this is really good information. I did not know this in my first probably couple months of playing. I sort of discovered this by just doing some research in the community, watching a couple of videos, and I thought, man, I hope everyone knows this. So I just thought it would be prudent that if you're sort of an early game, maybe a mid game player, this is just something you can always have going. I think late game players will probably not do this. I think generally speaking, they are able to hoard enough resources that if there is a new champion that they need to 6-star immediately, they just do it. I've seen accounts with like thousands and thousands of brews in their accounts for each affinity, and it's just like, you accrue that over time because you've ranked up what you can rank up, and anything, unless you're doing like a duplicate or something, you're usually just not spending the resources on something you're not going to use. So yeah, this is really cool. This is a really cool thing that Ray did. I thought ranking up champions was the worst part about this game for a long time until I sort of discovered this, and then they introduced live arena. So then that took the top spot. I hate live arena, but it is what it is. Maybe seasons make it better. Who knows? But yeah, this is really, really good, really useful information. If you're kind of hoarding gems and not sure what to do with them, I highly recommend the mine and unlocking all the slots in the Guardian Ring. So then you can just basically automate, for the most part, your rank 6s, and you can just get new rank 6s every week. So and as a kind of a final note on this, it's been much easier to plan out things. My last video was talking about Hydra and some champions I'm ranking up. It is good to know that, okay, I have 2 more weeks of this team, and then on the 3rd week I'll have enough resources to unlock this champion, and I can plan my books in advance, and I can plan out a lot in advance to have the highest impact on my account. So I saw this the other day. I was doing some research on these login champs, and this is the last thing I'll say, just because I thought this was interesting. So Gerda, I'm on Gerda right now, and I believe that Hell Hades website said that you unlock Gerda on day 431, which made me feel a little bit better about my account because it's basically just over a year old of actual days playing. I did start the account in 2019, took a long break, so basically did nothing for a couple of years, and then picked it back up last year. I think it was around March or April. No, it was around March because the Armand's Fusion was going when I started playing again, which is unfortunate timing. But um, yeah, so claiming Gerda next week sometime, my account will hit 431 days. I'm in Brutal Hydra. My Chimera teams are a little bit behind. I'm doing normal and hard at the moment, just because I tried brutal and just couldn't survive through it. So I think it's kind of a gear, maybe an account progression type thing, like Great Hall and whatnot, which I am working on. So I think I'm one keying Demon Lord. This key went crazy today in Ultra Nightmare. It's just one keys across the board. So I think for as old as my account is, I'm doing pretty okay. I wouldn't say like I'm crazy advanced or anything, but I think I'm doing okay. And I just have to remember it's a long grind. We just got to keep going. So hope you guys are having a good weekend. Have a good week ahead. Hopefully a few more videos this week, trying to get more regular with this. So I appreciate everyone who tunes in, and have a good rest of your weekend. Take it easy.